We are back at it again here with another video with the Invest for tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. So here we are with the SPY doing a full transition from dark green bars to white with red borders here and trying to find support and fight to stay above the 405 area. Even though it slightly broke below it, it is here fighting towards the end of the day and most of the day in that 405 area of support. And we need to talk about the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow and what's going on with the inflow versus outflow and bull and bear indicators, which I'm going to pull up here and you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicators, getting connected over to our bots and becoming part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts and using these resources to maximize in either direction, whether stocks are going up or going down. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation and gives us that edge within the volatility. So here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index on the 30-minute chart with inflows trying to come back up. Since yesterday, the outflows have been dominating, and at today's opening bell on the 30-minute, those outflows continue to pull away from the midpoint under that bear indicator since yesterday at around 411.48 and hitting lows down here of 403 to 404 area. And we talked about this in yesterday's video. 405, then came 403 and then 400. And here it is, finding support, a double bottom effect here. As you see there at the 403 area, bouncing off of it back up towards 405, hit the highs up here of 407. Came back down, and here it is fighting and consolidating in the end of this day at the 405 area. So this is crucial and critical to not ignore that all this volatility is going on with the outflows dominating. And if these inflows can cross over, this is the critical point here for the bulls. If any strength can reflect into the charts and retest of resistance levels, these inflows need to cross and go over the midpoint and stay strong. This is a critical point for tomorrow that I would not ignore. I'm going to be watching this very carefully, and in the process, if this bear indicator can get canceled by a possible bull indicator, and 2 times we hit the dip area of white with red borders. So here we are with a dip area yesterday, hitting it again today, and now trying to pull away from it in the day's volatility and rejecting near the open and highs here that there was around the pre-market and opening bell of 407. That's a critical resistance there to not ignore. And I'm going to share with you guys the key levels I would watch going into tomorrow. But the first thing is we want to look at the bigger picture here. The 1 hour chart, look how far it is from the midpoint. And these outflows are dominating here. It's going to be crucial for these inflows to start picking up here and heading towards the midpoint to reflect that strength into the charts. Now we're going to zoom back out here to the 1 hour in just a moment, but let's go ahead and zoom in here to the 15-minute chart, and we could see here that a bear indicator popped up towards the opening bell and outflows were below the midpoint. And on the 5-minute, as you see there popping up within the screen, our SPY bot at 9:45 a.m. sent out a bear indicator. And from that moment forward, outflows crossed the midpoint to the downside. Pure weakness there on 42 vision, and put options went up 100% plus within an hour, guys. And as you see there popping up within the screen in the options chain, some options even went higher than that. And this is what you gain access to upon joining our 42 vision indicators, our bots, and receiving the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility. We look forward to having you join us. So here we are with the SPY, the SP 500 index, with a bull indicator towards the second half of the day. But I wanted to zoom into the 15 minutes so you guys could see that bear indicator that popped up right at the opening bell, and also on the 5-minute with these outflows below the midpoint and outflows crossing down within the volatility. But when we zoom back out to that 1 hour, we can see here that on the SPY, the outflows are dominating, but they're trying to pick back up, guys. The highest that it's gone is here, what it's hit in the after hours of negative 5.45. At the open today, it was at negative 5.75. That's something to not ignore. It is trying to push up, and if there's going to be any momentum here to continue, these inflows need to continue to the upside, closer to the midpoint. And right now the SPY is trying to bounce off the 404, 405 area, and so far has hit a high here of 406.05 in this one bar here of the 1 hour chart. And then we also have a bear indicator still in effect, guys, that needs to get canceled within the volatility. So here we are with the 30-minute. If we go ahead and zoom back in, we could see that double bottom effect here, and when it ripped, pulled back down and held that support area of 404 to 405 area, and these inflows are trying to get closer to the midpoint, and this is going to be crucial if this momentum can continue for these inflows to cross. As I stated earlier in the video, I would not ignore this. I would watch this very carefully, and we want that momentum to continue on the 15-minute as well, as it's under a bull indicator here since 405.52. It's back above it, but the inflows have not crossed, guys. Right now, it's switched from red to green. It needs to continue, pull upwards, and start rolling over that strength into the 30-minute as well. So let's talk about the key levels I would watch to the upside and to the downside going into tomorrow. And the first thing is that these inflows, if they were to slow down and pull downwards, the first support is 403, as we talked about in yesterday's video. If we were below 405 and we hit that level, found support there twice, bounced back up, we'll have to see if it can continue to pull away from it. But if it heads towards it and these outflows begin here on the 30-minute and on the 15-minute, pulling away from the midpoint and canceling out this bull indicator with another bear indicator in the process on the 15-minute, and holding true this bear indicator on the 30-minute, since way up here at 411.50 to be exact, and where the outflows crossed over yesterday and dominated all day today, even though inflows are trying to pick back up. Well, the next support below 403 would be the 400 area, and if 400 gets broken through, it's going to be the 398 to 395 area. Now, that is something to reassess if we head that way and we end up in those areas. But right now, we are above 400, fighting to get above 405 and staying there in the after hours. And these inflows are super close to the midpoint, and I would not ignore this. This is going to be crucial and critical. I really have been emphasizing this because we're so close. And if we cross back over, it will be the first time we cross back over with a possible strength since way back here when the last bull indicator popped up at around the 406, 407 area. And you could see why that was a huge resistance today in the pre-market and today in the aftermarket hours, as we're trying to pull up towards it, and in the middle of the day within the volatility. So we are at a critical level here on the 30-minute, and I'm going to be watching these inflows very carefully. But if these inflows cross over, come back up on the 15-minute and start that strength with this bull indicator, reflecting strength into the charts, will the next resistance above 405 area, 406, is 407. Then above that comes the 409 to 410 area. And if it could go break through it and start that staircase effect to push up higher, the next resistance is back up here towards 411.50. I would just round that up to the 412 area. So that's going to be critical and crucial here within the upside potential of resistance levels being retested if these inflows can cross back over and have strength on the 15-minute, on the 30-minute, cancel out this bear indicator, get a bull indicator in the process as that strength begins. Now, on the 1 hour, we definitely want to see these inflows try to come back up towards the midpoint. If it does not cross it, it will be crucial to watch if it slows down the chart, or will the chart continue to fight to get towards it. If it could cross it, there could be possible strength to reflect even further into these charts and canceling out the bear indicator from yesterday with a possible bull indicator in the process as well. But right now, the 15-minute and the 30-minute are really close, and we need to see, will it reject or will it cross over with strength rolling over into tomorrow. As always, guys, these are the key levels I'm watching to the upside and to the downside. I'm going to watch the bull and bear indicators very carefully and the inflow versus outflow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.